Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make NBA DFS content, prize picks content. All these videos, they go on to this subreddit right here. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. It's not going to load. I'll just have a link down below. Right here. Make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day, what that changes for me throughout the slate. You can ask me questions about the slate, pretty much anything you need, that'll be linked down below. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter right there if you ever need to. So without further ado, let's get into my lineup from tonight. 2 days ago, sorry for the no video, past couple days I've been sick, but 2 days ago I did cash. Today, obviously did not. I stacked the Spurs and Memphis game. I full stacked it, and it just turned into a blowout. So yeah, didn't cash tonight, unfortunately. My core today was campaigned. He crushed Goodwin. Core play, he crushed. Who else was a core play? Goodwin, campaign, Victor Wembanyama, and I told everyone to get to at least one of Sandro, Champagny, and at least one of Scottie Pippen, Gigi Jackson. As you can see, I played them all pretty much. So the core did good. I just rounded out my lineup with not so great stuff. Gigi Jackson, Banchero. He was like a last piece in for me. So unfortunate there. Hopefully you guys had a good night tonight. And let's just get into the slate for tomorrow. I think we have a 6-gamer here for tomorrow. Looks like a pretty good one to me personally. All right, let's start with Memphis. I mean, they're going to have eight guys again. So, once again, they're going to have GG 1, Scottie Pippen 2, Jordan Goodwin 3, Brandon Clark 4. Prayer is not with the team. So, Jamison 5, Simpson 7, and did I count wrong? Give me 1 second. I believe it's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 8. Jack White, Simpson, Timmy Allen, Scottie Pippen, Jordan Goodwin, Trey Jamison, Brandon Clark, and Gigi Jackson. So, assuming we get the same lineup, which I would expect it to be the same lineup, same guys available, etc. Not a good matchup here going up against Cleveland, but I still think you have to have some interest in these guys. The first two guys I'd look to if you were playing anyone would be Jordan Goodwin, Scottie Pippen Jr. These two guys are running the offense. These two guys are really good point per minute guys. They're playing over 30 minutes each game. Now, like I said, not the best matchup, but the price points haven't really moved much. I still think they're really, really great plays in the mid-range. I like both quite a bit. I think Goodwin does look a lot better than Pippen does point per dollar, but I think both are really solid plays. Brandon Clark started tonight at the 4. He should play high 20s minutes. Doesn't make him out of play. Makes him an interesting GPP option just because I think he'll probably be the lowest owned of the starters, which makes him intriguing. I still think he's a decent play at 5.1K. Jamison's a very, very good value. I like him quite a bit. Should play over 30 minutes. Not the worst point per minute guy. Once again, a tough matchup, but if he's going to be out there for over 30 minutes, starting center at 4.3K, I think you have to definitely have some interest in it. I think he stands out as one of the better values. I like him quite a bit. Xavier Simpson, he's a stat sheet stuffer, has been playing 30 minutes back-to-back games. Good point per minute guy. I think he's a solid value. There's no way in hell I'm playing Timmy Allen, but if you want to do it in large field GPPs, that's fine. I don't think they have their 8th guy in here. And then Gigi Jackson, I mean, this guy's just been pissing me off, but should play over 30 minutes. We know the insane ceiling he has, and if nobody's going to want to play him tomorrow in GPPs because he's been underwhelming, then I'm going to be all over him. But with the floor, if he's not hitting his shots at this price point, he can have a pretty low floor. He's still a solid rebounder, but when he is hitting his shots, when he's out there chucking, he does have an immense ceiling. So if he's low owned tomorrow, I'm going to like him quite a bit in GPPs. All right, let's move on to Cleveland. This team's just an absolute mess. They're a mess. I really don't know what's going on with this team. I don't. Donovan Mitchell with this contract stuff. I believe Garland's still having like personal stuff going on. This team is just hard to watch right now. But with that being said, I mean, with a fully healthy team in a really good spot going up against Memphis, if for some reason you do think this game stays competitive, I think the guys you want to look to here are the bigs, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. I think these two guys have the best matchups between it's good for everyone, but I think these two guys stand out to me personally the most point per dollar on this team. Donovan Mitchell with his knee injury, the contract stuff, he just has not looked right. He is nothing more than a tournament dart throw for me. He'll probably be unowned. I think it's okay in GPPs. I'm going to stay away most likely with a 10-foot pull. I think Jared Allen and Evan Mobley look the best point per dollar if you do think this game does stay competitive. Just a dream matchup for both. If for some reason it does stay competitive, you could see one of these guys just absolutely nuke the slate. Garland's fine, but I prefer the bigs. Karis LeVert is overpriced. Max Strus is overpriced. We have so much better value. I don't think I'll be going to any of this value. All right, moving on to Charlotte. Probably one of my more favorite teams to target on this slate. I really like this team. First off, really good matchup going up against Atlanta. I really like Miles Bridges. Did he have a good game tonight? I was considering him tonight. Yeah, he had a mid game, but price point's down 7.9K in a really good spot going up against Atlanta. Just a dream matchup here. Their go-to guy, stat sheet stuffer. I am really high on Miles Bridges. I like him quite a bit. Should play close to 40 minutes. Brandon Miller, I think, is a decent option. Now, since he's so close in price to Miles Bridges, I'd rather just pay up for Miles Bridges, but Brandon Miller, I think, is a decent option. Micic, man, they should both play mid-30s minutes. Micic did not play mid-30s minutes tonight, but I think that's definitely a bit of an outlier. I think these two are decent options. Micic probably has the higher floor. I would say Man probably has the higher ceiling, but they're kind of both similar to me, but I still like both quite a bit. Grant Williams stayed in the starting lineup tonight at 5.4K. He finished with 32 minutes. We know he's been stuffing the stat sheet. We know his usage rate has been up on the Charlotte team. I think he's still decent. Nick Richards off the bench. I can't go there. Bertans, Poku, if you want to mess with it in large field tournaments, I guess it's okay, but we're going to have so much better value. Moving on to Atlanta. So Jalen Johnson, I would expect to be out tomorrow. Really good spot here. I think there's a good amount to like on this Atlanta side as well. I would expect starting line to be DeJounte Murray, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter, and Vit Krejci. With that being said, I absolutely love DeJounte Murray with no Jalen Johnson. He also gets a significant bump. Going to stuff the stat sheet. Going to play big minutes. I like the spot. He looks great to me. Bogey at 6.9K also sees a significant usage bump. He's going to have to chuck when he's out there. I like his ceiling in GPPs. Capella, minutes become a bit safer. I would definitely think he at least plays around 30 minutes tomorrow. Him and Bruno will split. They were playing some Jalen Johnson at the 5 a little bit, which does make Bruno Fernando a good value at 4.1K because him and Capella are going to split. Capella, like I said, should play 28 to 30 minutes in a really good spot going up against Charlotte. He's been insane of late. He's been doing a ton. Double-double here, close to a double-double, double-double here, double-double here. Double-double upside, should play 30 minutes. Really good spot going up against Charlotte, 6.5K. I like him quite a bit. Like I said, Bruno Fernando should play around 20 minutes. He's a decent point per dollar value. DeAndre Hunter's playable at 6K. Vit Krejci should start. He's a solid value. I know it's disgusting, but he is firmly in play for value. There is a lot to like in this Charlotte-Atlanta game. Let's move on to Toronto. So we'll see if Quickly is back. I would expect him to be back here. I believe today was just rest purposes. We'll see it's a back-to-back. We'll see if anyone else rests. They've been having players in like Trent, RJ Barrett. I believe this is his first back-to-back. I believe since coming back, I guess he could sit. Say everyone's in. I mean, okay spot going up against Brooklyn. I'd be intrigued by Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett and GPPs. I wouldn't say either are priorities at their price points, but I'd be intrigued by them. You know, both going to dominate the usage. Both will probably be low owned. I would prefer Quickly to RJ Barrett, but I'm not going to say they stand out to me at their price points, but I think they're both firmly in play in GPPs. Olynyk is priced right with everyone back. Just there for me. I think I'd rather get up to like an RJ Barrett at a similar price point. Gary Trent, he's priced right with Quickly coming back, so hard for me to go there. The value, we're going to have so much better value. JFL is going to go back to the bench. Hard to go there. If for some reason Quickly's out again, then yeah, I think JFL does stand out as a solid value. I do want to see how many minutes he did end with tonight. A lot of the games are on back-to-backs tonight, so I don't have popcorn machine up. He had a really good game. 33 minutes, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. He would stand out to me as a really good value if Emmanuel Quickly's out. Then RJ Barrett, I would really like at 7.9K. He'd be their go-to guy. Have to do everything offensively. Olynyk would be playable. Trent would be playable with like his ceiling in GPPs, but I still wouldn't touch this other value probably. I think JFL would be the value I'd go to if for some reason Quickly does not play. Moving on to Brooklyn, we have Claxton as probable, and we do have Cam Johnson coming back. Dorian Finney-Smith is out. We'll see what they do with the starting lineup. Like, do they move Cam Johnson back into the starting lineup? We just go Cam Thomas, Mikal Bridges, Claxton, Schroeder, Cam Johnson, or do they go with one of the young guys? I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility they go with one of the young guys in the starting lineup and keep Cam Johnson off the bench. So just keep an eye on that. That could change some things. With that being said, good matchup here. I'm always going to be high on Cam Thomas. People are not reacting to his role. People are not reacting to his minutes. He's come in low owned pretty much every single slate besides this slate up against Detroit. I'm still going to really like him. He is their go-to guy. He is shooting the ball 20 plus times a game. I don't mind the spot going up against Toronto. The price point has not moved. So yes, I am still very, very high on Cam Thomas. I think Mikal's solid at 6.7K. The most frustrating roster in DFS has to be Mikal Bridges this season. He's playable, but I'd rather just play Cam Thomas. Claxton at 6.6K, just there for me. It's a really good spot. She'll play around 30 minutes. Sometimes they will troll his minutes. He's also foul prone. I'm intrigued. Like, if he gets his normal 30 minutes, I think he's very similar to a guy like Clint Capella for me. I think both decent options. Schroeder, just there for me. You know, statute stuffer, should play over 30 minutes. Kind of just filler piece for me at 6.1K. And if they start Cam Johnson, I do like Cam Johnson for value at 5.2K. Now, if they go with one of the younger guys, or like, you know, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. They go with like a, I don't know, I don't think go like Wilson. I think go like Clowney. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. We'll see. I'll make updates on Reddit when we do get that news. I think the likely scenario is probably just Cam Johnson. Pull up the depth chart. I would assume it would just be Cam Johnson if I had to guess. All right, moving on to Dallas. Not a good spot going up against Miami, but it's Luka Doncic. He's the best spend up on every single slate. His floor, his ceiling, triple-double upside. Going to get you close to a triple-double, if not a triple-double, almost every single night. And going to play big minutes. This game should stay competitive as well. So if you just want the raw points, if you find the value good enough to jam Luka, by all means, go ahead, jam Luka, right? He's always going to be one of the best spend-ups on the slate. And if you're going to get him at low ownership, even better, like he was tonight. Kyrie's fine. I think I'd rather just pay up for Luka at that point. PJ Washington, 6.2K. I know he's been playing very well, but I will continue to fade at this price point. Daniel Gafford, I'd much rather play Daniel Gafford over PJ Washington. Another back-to-back. So many teams on back-to-backs. There's going to be craziness tomorrow, but Gafford should play around 25 to 30 minutes. Good point per minute guy. No Lively. Horrid spot going up against Miami, but still in play. I don't know if I touched the value. THJ's priced right. XM, no thank you. We just have so much better. Kleba, get the backup 5. He's a playable dart, I suppose. I believe he had a good game tonight. Yeah, he had a decent game at 19 minutes. All right, moving on to Miami. Good spot here going up against Dallas. Terrozier sat tonight. Neck injury, I guess. Duncan's out. We'll keep an eye on Harrow. It's a back-to-back. So say we get a similar situation that happened tonight. Say we get Rozier out, Tyler Harrow in, and the same starting lineup. I believe they went with Tyler Harrow, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Nikola Jovic, and Caleb Martin. I'm going to like Caleb Martin. I'm going to like Jovic for value. It's going to depend on what their ownership is going to be compared to other value, but I believe Jovic played like 40 minutes tonight. Caleb Martin played a decent amount. Both will be solid values. Tyler Harrow, I'd really like at 6.9K, assuming no limit on the back-to-back. Butler would be solid. Bam probably my least favorite point per dollar, but it's a really good matchup going up against Gafford. I don't mind that. So if we get a similar situation, I do like a decent amount here. Now, for some reason, like Rozier and Harrow out, then, you know, guys like Jamie, Petty Mills will probably have to get a bit of run. I mean, Highsmith would even be playable at 4.2K. We'll just have to wait and see, and I'll make updates on Reddit when we do that. But then, like, you know, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, both look good. Jovic, Caleb, etc. Moving on to the Spurs, and I think we have to consider them once again here. I would expect Keldon Johnson to be out once again tomorrow, and the value's just not priced up enough. They're running a really tight rotation in competitive games. So once again, I'm very, very high on Shin Petty. I like Sandro a ton. Branham's a decent value. I think Sandro's my favorite between all three, but all three very, very good values. Trey Jones has a ceiling. Statute stuffer, I don't mind him. Wemby's a great spend up now. I'd say 11.5K is probably getting to the price point to where he should be, but he should be able to dominate OKC. Very, very good spend up. Graham's been seeing decent minutes off the bench. If you need a dart, it's fine, but mainly looking to these three values here, and then like Trey Jones, Victor Wembanyama. Moving on to OKC, good spot. Another team on a back-to-back. So SGA played his full minutes. Okay, so back-to-back here. Another team that could rest guys. Jalen Williams, SGA, it's back-to-back. So like we'll take a wait and see. If they're both out, we know what to do. Then, you know, Josh Giddey, Chet Holmgren look good. Whoever they start would be a decent value. Etc. Whether it's like Isaiah Joe, Casey Wallace, Aaron Wiggins, they've been switching it up, etc. Dort would be playable, right? So we'll take a wait and see approach here. Could be some shenanigans on the injury report tomorrow, but I mean, if SGA gets his full minutes again on a back-to-back going up against the Spurs, I absolutely love him at 10.1K. Would be one of my favorite spend-ups on the slate, assuming he is full go on this back-to-back. I don't know if I get too much else here, though. Everyone else is priced up. I guess Chet is fine at 10.2K, but I don't think I'm getting too much else here if everyone's in. Moving on to Orlando, Franz was out today. If he's in, I think Paolo Franz are playable. Don't love much here. Winokur Jr. just there for me. Suggs fine. Don't like much else. Isaac playable. But if we get Franz out, I think Marco Fultz stands out as a really good value at 3.8K. He played a lot more tonight than I thought he was going to, but if we're going to get similar minutes from a good point per minute, point guard and Marco Fultz at 3.8K, he is going to stand out as a really good value. Isaac playable. Don't like Cole. I think I'd rather just go to Fultz. Suggs gets a bump. He'd be firmly in play, and then Paolo would be a decent option at 8.4K. All right, so I don't expect Giannis to play, so I would expect them to go with the starting lineup of Damian Lillard, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, Pat Bev, and one of Crowder, Compton, probably Crowder, and they'll just give, split minutes with them. With that being said, I absolutely love Damian Lillard. I think he's one of the best spend-ups in the upper tier mid-range. Chris Middleton's a decent option. Bobby Portis off the bench is going to see a significant bump in usage in minutes. I like his ceiling in GPPs. Brook Lopez is playable. Pat Bev, even at this price point, I like. Stat sheet stuffer that should play big minutes. Crowder, if he starts, that's fine. Compton's playable. I'm not going to play Beasley if he comes off of the bench. So that's going to do it, guys. Hopefully you guys had a good night tonight, and I will talk to y'all in the next video.